You know what I like to do?
Talk into a microphone?
Yeah, and also get in on the action with sports
Have a big
interaction.
head.
Yeah. Wear bare feet in the freezing cold.
Be a dad.
Friggin' wear V-necks that are actually
It's not a
crew-necks.
V-neck, okay?
Sorry.
Sports interaction. NHL, NBA, MLB, so much more. It's the friend I don't have, clearly. Crazy Odds, best live and play. Download the app in Ontario. You can use the QR code at the bottom of the screen, or you can head to sportsinteraction.com/STPN to get started. 19 plus. Please play responsibly and get better friends.
Yell at the computer. He does that too.
So the Leafs bring it back home on Friday night.
And then McKinnon not being able to say anything. He's just fucking.
No.
Next question.
The
I don't
little
know.
Jim from The Office. They just look.
So the reason I want to ask this is we are playing in Toronto. The Leafs have won one game in Toronto in these playoffs.
That's
One total game.
That's bad. Out of let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
They're 1-4. Wow.
How?
Right?
How are they in the second round?
So
Shut up.
How are they
What
still
did the-
playing games?
Shut up.
what do
That's
the
crazy.
Leafs need to do to win game 5? When if we're sitting here Saturday morning, and we're doing the show Saturday morning, by the way, and we're doing it as early as we can so we get the show up as soon as we can.
Yeah.
Shout out to Drew and Steve in advance because they're going to be up real early into the morning.
I threw out there, hey, maybe we should just not go to bed and record it.
Like
And
do a 4 a.m. show.
just when you're done editing the LFR, you can edit it here if you want. Steve can send it to you here, and then you drive down. And while the time you
I
drive
would do it.
down, Drew's done editing, and then we hit the record.
So by
button.
the time people are awake, we'd have a podcast.
Exactly.
But Drew said he would, but Steve
Yeah.
doesn't care about you.
yeah, Steve doesn't like fans,
And he was like, fuck those people.
Yeah.
I am a Habs fan.
yeah.
Yeah, you saw me wear the jersey.
Steve, why? Why aren't you willing to just sleep all Saturday and pull like a bit of an all-nighter on Friday?
You ever met my wife?
I have several,
Many.
many times.
All right. I want you to text her right on the show.
I'm a caller.
Call
Plug
her.
in my phone.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
And
And
be
then
like,
She's in class right now. She's not picking
Yeah,
up.
she's not picking it up. So
no, what? She might be online. I don't know. Listen,
Yeah.
get in contact with her.
Yeah.
And be like, what do you think about this idea?
Uh-huh.
And you tell her all about that idea.
Okay.
And I want you to see how that goes. You go ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
that's all.
I was just hoping you cared about the fans.
I was hoping you cared about my child.
I don't know. I really appreciate everybody who consumes this program.
Me too.
And all of the programs on the network, and I wish you guys had that same passion. And by you guys, I mean the guy directly to my right.
Yeah.
You want me to leave that alone all
Steve
Saturday?
Dangle.
Look at
I
that
know
picture.
Adam Wylde, you appreciate
I have.
the listeners and viewers.
Yeah. I have the
But-
passion that unites us all.
Steve, he falls a little short.
Yeah.
I have
on
the passion that
effort-o-meter.
raises a child.
So anyway, what did the Leafs need to do in game 5?
Oh,
they
just
really-
stay up all fucking night, ignore all their responsibilities, and sorry, yeah.
I just want to know. What do you need to do? Like, if we're sitting here Saturday morning and going, they won again, what happened?
Man, I really don't think the Leafs game is rocket science. Limit your mistakes. If you make mistakes, put yourself in a position to unfuck them, which they did last night. And it's up to the core four. And people point out, well, the core four have scored the majority of the Leafs' points. Yeah, that's the gig. If you look around the league, that tends to stay true. You look at all the Stars' best players. Yep, that's why they're still in the playoffs. It's only the Kraken who are the freaks of nature who do the entire roster. The Panthers, their best players are their top scorers. The guys who make the most money are their top scorers. There are very few league minimum unicorns out there. The core four have to keep this up. Game 4 was the Mitch game. Game 5 is allowed to be the Mitch game as well. How about the Austin game? How about the JT game? You know what? It's been a week since the last real good Riley game. Let's get a Riley game. Do you need bottom 6 contributions? Absolutely. Do you maybe need your goalie to steal you one sometimes? Absolutely. It goes through the core. Watch this. I hope it catches on. 5.
Oh.
It is the core 5. Willie always gets lumped in there, and I mean, I guess he should, on account of if he's garbage, the team tends to lose.
Yes.
It's the core 5.
I also want to throw this out there. William Nylander has been one of the most productive players per minute on the power play in these playoffs, and yet he continues to get second line penalty kill or power play minutes. Is that a good thing, or is it a bad thing? A lot of people are saying you should roll him out there with Matthews and Marner. Other people saying, well, wait a second. He's effective because he is driving the second unit.
That's what it is.
And
That's
Sheldon
what it
Keefe
is.
will do a really smart thing, I think, is he'll give him the last, he'll early shift Willie, so he gets a little time with PP1, even if it's 15 seconds, and then he brings out kind of the rest of PP2. So there's a little Willie with the big stars, and then he gets the second unit with himself. I don't mind the power play at all. It's been really effective.
I'd like to know what percent of the second unit being out there is the full second unit being out there. I bet it's less than 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the playoffs. You can run them all out.
There's been a lot of long Tavares shifts and long Matthews and Marner, and it's usually Riley is the first to sub off, and they figure it out from there.
Are you guys concerned about how much Sam Bennett and Radko Gudas and Matty Tkachuk to a lesser extent, but those two big boys get away with on the ice? Because we've seen them just demolish the Leafs like a couple, more than a handful of times this entire series, and they're going to keep pushing. And there just needs to be at least some sort of, I don't know if it's retribution, but I want to see at least some big hits on our end, or on the Leafs end as well.
I just don't know how you could be surprised if you've seen the Leafs play Boston in the playoffs.
Yeah, listen, it's a bad league. We know it's a bad league.
You got to just play within the rules. They know what the rules are, and the rules are you can get away with anything. So start getting away with it.
The Toronto Maple Leafs are my favorite team. The Stanley Cup is my most coveted trophy, and both are held hostage by the least serious professional sports league in the world.
There you go.
And I'm tired of having this conversation every year. Find a way. Punch them back. I don't know what to tell you. The Leafs,
they're never going to out physical the Panthers.
well, they had a decently rugged game in game
They can
4.
be rugged, but they're never going to out physical the Panthers.
They're not going to win that battle.
And you shouldn't try to.
No,
That's their game.
And you don't want to be the team that irks the officials by whining.
No.
But someone from the Leafs, I think, is well within their right to, at very least, listen, the end of the game scrum, they're never going to hear you out. Show them the Gudas hit and be like, what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here? Call our guy. Fine, he earned it. What the fuck are we doing here? Kampf left that game temporarily. He came back. Who knows if he's all right? It's the playoffs. Players are maniacs in the playoffs.
Yeah. I thought Achari, I'm like, man, if he didn't break his hand on that slap shot he took off it, I was like, please, God, not Noel.
Right off
my
the
favorite.
inside.
I love him.
Oh, no padding.
I know.
None whatsoever.
He's a freaking man, and he got back in there.
Since Iggy broke my nose, I look at Noel Acciari, I'm like, how does he breathe?
I don't know, man. His nose has been severely broken.
It's a roadmap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whatever it was, it couldn't have felt good.
It looks like a tree in a Dr. Seuss book.
Yeah.
How on earth does that dude breathe the way a professional athlete needs to breathe?
Manages it. Makes it work.
He's just Noel a friggin' man-chari.